Don't I deserve that? I don't know. Everyone deserves love. Let me interrupt that thought. Everyone deserves love. I deserve love.
Are not even good. I am someone who's very particular about hairstylists, makeup artists.
Like boyfriends. They treat each other like they're a boyfriend. And you doing all this for her, you're wondering.
Oh my God, that's me! Huh?
I'm going to just use that to annotate books.
Stephanie, that is me. That's crazy. That is so cool. That was cool as hell to be like sitting here watching her vlog and then listening to her listen to me, which makes me think, like, do people, oh, I broke my nail. I need to put some polish on them. Do people like see me watching them? Because I do that often in like my vlog and stuff, and be like, ah, that's me. Anyway, I am working on my thing. I drew some diamonds for my diamond studs. Yes, that's what I'm working on. It's lunchtime, so I figured I'll work on my little thing. Anyway, I just thought that was cool, and this battery is about to die. That is so fucking cool. I'm Angela, nice to meet you. Scrambling, like searching for mine at the bottom because we use Teams at work. So anytime I get on Zoom, I can never find. What's crazy is I have a little notebook and I was like, this is Black Girls in STEM, because I like drew it out on the notebook and then I laid it out on the floor and did measurements. I was like, this is a lot more, I feel like an engineer. I think my only question, you covered it, would be if there were going to be like certain questions, would they be provided? So on and so. I'm very much a note girl.
Yeah,
Can I write the thing down and then look at the thing so I can make sure I hit my point? So that was a meeting for a really cool opportunity, a really cool Black History opportunity. I didn't ask if I could talk about it, so I won't go into detail, but I am going to be already scratching one of my goals off of my vision board, my bingo vision board. Let me grab it. I did finish it, by the way. So if you looked at my Sunday chat where I talked all about the bingo vision board activity, I still needed to fill in like 10 of these little boxes with goals that I would love to accomplish in 2026. I did finish. I worked on it like every day after work this week, which kept me off it, which is why I haven't really vlogged that much, because girl, I was in the zone, baby, trying to get these done, and then decided that I was going to like hand draw all of my little, I mean, they're not perfect, I'm not an artist, but I wanted to keep the theme of like trying to draw pictures for all of the goals that I wanted to do. It just was like a really fun like arts and crafty activity. But anyway, the opportunity that I got for Black History Month is going to cross this off of my, like, I can put a little star on this. I will be a part of a panel discussion for Black History Month, and I'm really excited about, with a pretty big organization. Not pretty big, one of the biggest, the largest. So I'm super excited about that. Somebody reached out to me that follows me on socials. I really appreciate you for thinking of me. Thank you so much. And so that was a meeting to sort of like go over like the itinerary and things like that, expectations, so on and so forth. So I will be getting this laminated. I'm gonna go get this laminated when it's not freezing cold outside, and then I'm going to just use markers to exit out, or like maybe some stickers or something like that. But we're already knocking one of these things off the board, and I'm super excited about that. Oh, by the way, some extra stuff that I added on here. I'm not gonna go over everything, but this is me trying to draw Issey Miyake pleats, please. Because I want to start collecting more pieces from that line from Issey. I just love it. It's very comfortable, it's versatile, like great for vacation, great for summer. These are two pieces that are on my list. It's a pair of like cropped pants, and then it's this like lampshade, like balloon style skirt. It like balloons out. So I drew that. What's something else that I drew? Oh, I drew an ear. I traced that. I didn't draw that by hand. I definitely traced that on my phone. But I want to get my ears decorated. I want to get some piercings. I think I'm going to do it when I'm in New Orleans for my birthday. I'm going to find a place and I'm going to get a second hole and maybe like I don't want this thing. I don't want that. But I'm going to get like a second hole, maybe something right here, like a second hole here and then 2 piercings here. I would like to eventually put like 2 little hoops like right here in my ear, and then maybe on this side I'll do a second hole and then something a little further up. Something else that I think I might do in New Orleans for my birthday is finally get this tattoo that I've had saved. Like, I've literally had this tattoo saved in my phone. I designed it so long ago. I'm gonna tell you how long it's been in my phone. I've literally had this tattoo in my phone since 2020. I designed this July 24th, 2020. And essentially it is a barcode, and I want it on the back of my calf, on my left calf. And on the top of it, it has, on the top across the first few bars is ROSE, which is my mom's name. Well, her name is Rosalie, but it's an abbreviation of my mom's name. And then 12/7/1958 is her birthday. And then on the top of the lower barcode is the date that she passed away. So the full date, the date that she passed away, so 7/18/1997. And then across the bottom here, that single number 5 is the amount of children she had, so it's 5 of us. And then the numbers next to the number 5 is all of our birth years. It's all of our birth years, and then the letters next to our birth years are our initials. So I want to get that tattoo, and I think I'm going to do that in New Orleans too for my birthday. I'm just going to knock both of those out. So I put that on there. I would like to get a new vlogging camera. I want to get that Sony Alpha ZV-E10 one. That thing is a band and some more. So I want to get a new camera though. What else new? And then I gotta go. Oh, I put these diamonds on here because I do want to get a pair of fine jewelry, like diamond stud earrings, at least a carat. I would like to get those this year. And then lastly, I'll go over these 2 S's. Those are like not necessarily freebies, but those are spaces for something spontaneous to happen, for me to do something spontaneous that I didn't expect to do, or I wouldn't have expected myself to do, for God to like bless me in a way that I didn't even ask for. I didn't even think I had the capacity to like receive a blessing that big right now. And so I'm leaving those spaces for that. So I have things in the margins like blow my mind and show me how good it can get. And so that's what those 2 S's represent. So anyway, I finished my board. I'm gonna get eliminated. That meeting was on my bingo card. Fred Shuttlesworth was mentioned in the book. Transparently, I had quite literally never heard that name before. So that's kind of the sort of stuff that I like to annotate, because why don't I know who this is? So I literally wrote, who is Fred Shuttlesworth in my book. And then I just came to Wikipedia really quickly to get sort of a quick idea of who he is. And then I'll go back and write a more descriptive, like in my own words, like definition of who he is. But quickly, if you don't know, maybe I just don't know, but he was an American Baptist minister and civil rights activist who led fights against segregations and other forms of racism during the civil rights movement. He often worked with Martin Luther King Jr., although they did not always agree on tactics. I want to read more on him to figure out like what was the difference between the two, but he did, along with Martin Luther King Jr., co-found the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. I'll read a little bit more about the difference between him and MLK, because in my mind, when people be like, people didn't agree with MLK on tactics, I always think of Malcolm X. I'm like, what? He was like ready to get in the field. Why did I come on my period today? I did not get my period last month. I got my period today. By the way, it's Saturday. Late. Well, not late. It's 6:27. But I got my period today, and I should have known that it was coming because I woke up at like 5 o'clock this morning. I get like what feels like sciatic nerve pain. Is that what you call it? It feels like whenever I'm like coming on my period, I get like this burning sensation like right here at the bottom of my butt, and then it like goes down the back of my legs. I don't necessarily get cramps. So I woke up at like 5 o'clock this morning and my butt and legs were burning. But I was like, I don't know, maybe I'm having like phantom symptoms, because surely I'm not gonna come on my period when I did not come on my period last month. I thought we were done with periods. I thought my birth control, excuse me, I thought my birth control had finally like kicked in and I wasn't getting periods no more. No, sister. I went to my board class this morning, went to pee before class started. Blood. Anyway, I just been like I went to the grocery store after the gym, and then I just been in the bed. I got like a few more chapters of Take My Hand left, and I'm gonna be done with it. So I guess I'm gonna start the next book. The book is so good. It is so good. For my treat of the week, I'm just having this frozen pizza because, you know, it's extremely cold outside. I gotta preheat the oven, as Lavelle say, 425. Because it's extremely cold outside, so I just grabbed something from the grocery store. What's better than a frozen pizza, you know? I still haven't put in let me get out of here. I had to come in my room while the stove is warming up because I need to put in a request to have to come look at it because, oh, excuse me, because the fan is making like a loud noise and I've been lazy. So while that's heating up and it's making that annoying noise, I came in my room. But anyway, as I was saying, I have just a few more chapters left of Take My Hand. This book is really, really, really good. I know that, I mean, here's the thing. These books, like historical fiction books, are really, they can be really heavy. Because you're reading about things like, before this I read The Mystery. I read Monday's Not Coming. But before, my nail broke, damn. But before Monday's Not Coming, I read The Filling Station, which was a historical fiction based on the Tulsa Massacre. And so and that's heavy, right? And I think I said in a book before, reading it in a context of like historical fiction and there being other stories surrounding that like historical like event or piece of time that the book is talking about makes it more digestible, and I don't even know if it makes it digestible, but it's easier reading it in the context. Damn, this nail is broke. Okay, but like I was saying, it makes it easier to, it's easier than reading like a novel on Tulsa, like, you know what I'm saying? So basically this book, without giving away spoilers, because I do think y'all should read it, it's really good. Essentially this book is a historical fiction around the Ralph sisters, which I didn't know about before this, like, to be honest, but I know now because I've been like annotating and looking things up. But it was 2 young girls that were sterilized by the state in Alabama in like 1973. So essentially this is that story from a historical, like historical fiction lens, and we hear lots and lots about the Tuskegee experiment, right? This was happening in the same exact place, right, where the government was coercing, and a lot of times unknowingly, because, you know, even in 1973 you had a lot of like black and poor educated people that could not read, so they really didn't like understand the documents that they were signing. But essentially the government was coercing and sometimes sterilizing people without them knowing it, and they were specifically targeting minorities, so black and Latino people and poor people, so like poor white people too. Don't give me because this is what pisses me off about poor white people. So anyway, this historical fiction is sort of, you know, it's telling the Ralph sister story, and then the lawsuit that came from that, and then sort of like the subsequent like federal mandates that came down about sterilization. Like, it was even a point where there was like a mandate in Alabama. I can't remember if it was like a federal mandate, but like anybody that, let's say, was in a mental institution, if you were a woman, you had to be sterilized. Bro, this was 1973. Like, think about that. That was 11 years before I was born. I was born in 1984. This was 1973. Like, even some of the like experiences that they were still having, like the family in this book lived in a fucking like outhouse behind a white man's house, and they tended, the daddy like worked in his yard or whatever for like pennies, and they lived in this fucking shack, 1-room shack with holes in the floor, no indoor plumbing, in 1973. That was yesterday. That was literally like yesterday, which is like crazy. But the book is really good, and I knew I was gonna roll through this. I knew I was gonna be done with this weekend. I couldn't like really get into it this week, because by the time I was like done with work and like I would sit down in my bed to read, I would be exhausted. But I knew once I sat down and read it this weekend that I was gonna like roll through it, because I was enjoying the little bits and pieces that I was reading like through the week. But highly recommend. It is heavy, but I am thoroughly enjoying this genre. And I will say this, the more and more I'm reading this, the more and more I'm like, fuck the government. Because y'all remember when I was reading The Filling Station, I don't know if I said that on here, but it's fuck the Red Cross forever. Like, it's fuck the Red Cross forever, bro. Like, the way that they treated black people after the Tulsa massacre and made them work for every little fucking thing that they gave them, that pissed me off so bad. Like, that pissed me off so bad. And in this book, like, it's like, not only are these people like, you know, illiterate, they can't read, so they don't really know what they're signing and stuff, but they feel beholden to the government. Like, they feel like they don't have a choice but to do whatever the government says do, because they're giving them a little bit of something, and that's how the government made them feel. Like, you're on public assistance, so you actually have to do whatever the fuck we say. And like, that's not, it's just so frustrating. Anyway, it's a really good book. 10 out of 10, highly recommend. I'm definitely about to finish this with a couple slices of my pizza. And then I think I'm gonna start my next book. I'm getting ready for my workout this morning. It's Sunday, so y'all know I like to do my cardio on Sunday mornings, sprints, incline walk, a little bit of a run. But I just have to say this, I'm back with another political rant, because it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. Which is, I feel like, why my head has been like down in books, even though I'm reading historical fiction, and that's making me frustrated too, but in a different way, because I'm learning things. But again, the same with what I said last week, where ICE then killed another man in the street, another white person in the street, right? Had guns on them, but you know, that's the conservative way, that's the MAGA way, Second Amendment right, that's all y'all talk about. We gotta have our guns in case the government go crazy. The government is going crazy, and that didn't kill this man in the streets. He didn't even have the guns out on him. He just had them on him because he has the right to carry. They executed that man in the street 10 times. That's frustrating in and of itself, right? Because that's frustrating in and of itself, because nobody should be being I don't care if I don't care. There is no excuse for that, unless he was outgunned, was blazing at y'all. What's really frustrating though is to see the rhetoric from, and I'm just gonna say it, right? I know I got a handful of white people that follow me, right? And like I said last week, I like to think that the people that follow me and engage with me are people that happen to be white, and not these type of white people that I'm talking about. But to see the conversation be, when did we become this country, and you know, when did it become, what happened to Second Amendment right? And I just can't believe we're here. Do y'all not know who Philando Castile is? Do y'all genuinely not know who Philando Castile is? Do y'all genuinely not hear our cries, our protests? Do y'all genuinely not hear what we say about police brutality in this country, not just against black bodies, but how that was inevitably going to be in everybody's problem? That police officer executed Philando Castile in front of his girlfriend and his child, and he had a gun on him legally. He hadn't pulled it out, he wasn't using it and that man, nothing happened to that man. And we protested, and we said his name, and we talked about police brutality, and y'all, well, he shoulda, and he, and this, and this, and this, and we said, what about the Second Amendment rights? What about, we thought y'all was into, and y'all, every excuse in the world. Now y'all the same people talking about, when did we become this, and it's so frustrating. It is so frustrating. Oh my god. I'm about to find me some music. I think I'm gonna listen to Orange by Frank Ocean while I work out today. I am so frustrated, bro. It's so hard not to become like this angry like, it's so hard not to be angry. It's so hard not to be angry, bro. Not Orange, Channel Orange. I'm about to listen to Channel Orange, and I'm about to go do my workout because I'm so frustrated. I'm so fucking mad, bro. I'm so fucking mad. I'm so just frustrated. I'm just like, I feel like you slapping me in my, I feel like it's a slap. I really feel like you just open hand slapping me in my face. You playing with me. You playing in our faces so much. You might as well open your hand, spit in that bitch, and slap us, because that's what it feel like. It's so hard. That's why this is my video diary. That's why I'm not making no content. I'm not in no comments. I'm not trying to educate people. Y'all know what the hell, y'all know what the fuck it is. Like, for real, cut the fucking camera. I am so tired. I don't know why I'm so tired, but I am tired. Anyway, my 4th book from that big book haul that I did finally came. I'm really excited about it, because I think after I read the book that I'm reading now and I read this, I'm going to read a few writing books. Like, I'm going to get into some like skills, and because the book I'm reading now and this book is pretty thick. The book I'm reading now is 500 plus pages. This one is also 500 plus. It's almost 600 pages. So they're both pretty thick books. They'll probably take me through February, but I think after I'm done with these, are probably like in tandem, because I'm going to probably order them this weekend. I'm going to start reading some books that I saw online that are good for people that are trying to write novels. Because like, I'm about to sit down and write now, but like, I'm just like okay, I need to like get some structure. I need to read something, give me something to give me like some structure or whatever. So I'm just not like writing in the abyss, and then I have to go back and do all of these edits after I, you know, gain some additional knowledge. So I am going to order some books. I'll share that with y'all in probably next week's vlog, because this is going to wrap up. But girl, I'm gonna write. I put on a sweater because I was gonna go upstairs and write, but actually I don't feel like leaving my apartment. I just went down there to get this book. I don't feel like leaving my apartment again, I should say. My goal tonight is to just get this conversation between the male and female protagonists, like the male and female lead in the book. My goal is to get this conversation that I have been trying to get out for the last 3 times that I've sat down. My hands are so ashy. Like my skin is just, it doesn't matter how much, like I'm just dry. But my goal, oh, sorry y'all. My goal is to get this conversation out because I've been having I've been going back and forth so much on this conversation. Like I know what the conversation is in my head, but like every time I type it out, I'm not satisfied with like the flow of the conversation. And so I delete it and like start all over. So we gotta set the mood, girls. We gotta set the mood. And we're gonna set the mood with YouTube. I accidentally removed YouTube from the little like main bar on my TV, and I don't know how to add it back. So I have to go to apps and then
It was a great way to spend a birthday.
Yeah.
go to YouTube.
I went and ate lunch at a nice place, and
I haven't seen her in forever. Kristen Dunst, is that an old episode? Why is she on? She ain't done nothing recently, has she? Okay, I need some music, and I know it's some on my home page. Look, right as soon as I log in, jazz lo-fi. It is lunchtime and I am starving. I said in this video I posted Sunday, like the what I eat on a snow day, that I don't always eat my meals like I'm supposed to. So I literally have not eaten anything. I had my protein shake, I had a banana, I had a cup of coffee. I ain't ate no food. I'm hungry. So I'm actually going to make the bread. Where am I? Oh girl, I already took it out. I'm losing my mind. I'm going to make the little breakfast that I eat, but this time in the egg scramble I'm going to do potatoes. So I'm going to do potatoes, eggs, sausage, just like a big mix of stuff. And that's what I'm gonna have for lunch. And some spinach. Excuse me, I started watching Tell Me Lies while I'm working. First of all, I'm gonna have a hard time getting through this show, mainly because the lead male protagonist, who is like the bad boy hot guy of the series, is unattractive. He is quite literally, they went and quite literally found the least attractive white boy that they could have found. It's really hard for me to like watch that young lady like pine over this like mid-ass dude. Also, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make my sweet potatoes tonight. I'm not gonna eat both of these tonight, but I have a couple pieces of salmon that I'm gonna cook. One I'm gonna eat for dinner, and then I'll save the other one as like leftovers for maybe tomorrow or then tomorrow, because after one day I'll be wanting to eat it. But I'm gonna make both of these potatoes, sweet potatoes, so they'll be done. And I will only have to cook the salmon because this shit be taking forever to cook. And it's an editing day for me. And so I don't want to be trying to like cook dinner and edit. That makes me so overwhelmed when I'm trying to do both. So I'm going to actually throw these in the oven now while I'm making my breakfast. that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna cut on my stove, and I still have not put in a request to have them come look at my stove because I think the fan is a little broken. So it'd be making a loud noise when I cut the stove on. So I need to get on that. Y'all hear that? The fan is broken. I'm gonna put in a request after I'm done. It eventually goes off once the oven heats up, but like, yeah, I need to put in a request. I should have been did that. That's on me. And that's breakfast. Y'all still hear that stove going back there? I'm gonna put in a request after I'm done eating, but I'm gonna spend the rest of my lunch trying to get past the fact that I find this lead character, male character, very unattractive on this show, but the girls say it's good, so I'm gonna watch it. Anyway, that ends this week's vlog. Thank y'all so much for watching. Oh, the sound has stopped. Thank y'all so much for watching. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all know TikTok is doing a thing, so make sure if you follow me on TikTok and you just are a passive watcher on here that you follow, because this may be where we reside. And on my Instagram, links in the bio. And I will catch y'all in next week's video. Thank y'all so much for watching. Bye. I'm gonna look at this ugly man, ugly child.